It looks like Valve has decided to dip their toes into the handheld market. Will they succeed? Let's take a look. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to Enter the Internet, a show where I discuss anything interesting I find on the internet. And I am Jordan. So, after we just got a look at Nintendo's new OLED Switch a few days ago, Valve decides to unveil their new PC hybrid handheld type gaming system called the Steam Deck, not to be confused with Elgato's Stream Deck, which seems like it's going to be the Nintendo Switch's first real competition in the handheld market, because we all know Nintendo has dominated the handheld market for years with the 3DS and obviously the Switch is their main console now. And at first glance, you would think this is just a different version of the Switch. It looks very similar with the layout to a normal controller, but it does have the addition of the touchpad, which Valve has said it's used to simulate a mouse feel in games that don't really work well with controllers. What's surprising is it's actually a full-blown PC in there, basically. Obviously, it's nowhere near as powerful as a high-end PC, but as far as what's powering this bad boy, it is a custom chip from AMD running the Zen 2 architecture with 4 cores, 8 threads, and RDNA 2 GPU, which can reach up to around 2 teraflops. So basically, for comparison, it's basically a scaled down version of PS5 or Xbox Series S. It is going to release with 3 different storage options, starting with a 64GB at $399, moving up all the way to a 512GB model at $649 US. And yes, you can always add storage with a micro SD card. Kinda sucks with the standard 64GB as a base model, which I know, like we said, that's with the Switch, and it's kind of what phones release with now. But with Steam games, PC games, they're on average 40, 50, 60 gig downloads. So if you have just a 64 base system, you could literally download one game. Now, even though it is a little bit more powerful than a Nintendo Switch, it's still only going to have a 7-inch 1280 by 800 screen, which will display at 720p with 30 FPS in order to keep gameplay a little bit more smooth. And according to Valve, the battery will last about 7 to 8 hours, depending on obviously heavy gameplay or what type of stuff you're doing on it. And again, since it is a Valve product, it will support Steam and almost all of the features that Steam provides, from cloud saves, and it's even going to have suspended save points to all that fun stuff. You will be able to add a mouse and keyboard, as well as connect an external display through its USB Type-C port, which can output HDMI, Ethernet, and USB data. It's basically, as I just mentioned earlier, a full-fledged computer. You can set this up at a desk, and IGN has a video up on their page that they've kind of got to review it, and they went to Valve and got to test it out, and they actually set it up as, used it as a full computer basically. And speaking of it being a whole computer, it is running a new version of Steam OS that's optimized for handheld devices, and it's all based off of the Linux operating systems. People who are familiar with Linux or hackers or anything like that can kind of get deeper into the software and modify it and use it completely as, again, as a full-fledged computer. And although it is using Linux, it will use a software called Proton, which is kind of a compatibility layer in order to run Windows-based games on Steam. It's been around for a while and people have been using it. The only thing that does suck with the Proton software is it, as of right now, it doesn't really support 4 of Steam's major games that are always in like the top 10 played, that being Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Rainbow Six Siege, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And the reason that they have compatibility issues is due to the anti-cheat software that they use. It doesn't really work well with the Proton. It'll launch the game, but then it'll immediately kick you out, since those are pretty much multiplayer based only games. The Proton has a software that's been out for a while, but the Valve itself is working with the developers and the Proton software, I believe, to obviously get it to run. And also, according to Gabe Newell, they said that they have been targeting this price point from the start, and that apparently it was pretty painful as a result to keep it around this 400 to 650 mark, because they want, again, to basically directly compete with the Nintendo Switch. And that's why they are aiming for this price point, and they are clearly aiming for a long-term goal with this product, as I mentioned above. Now, as for when this will be launching, it will be launching in December of 2021, but you can go on Steam and place your pre-orders today. It will just be a total of $5 down. You can place more, and it will go towards the cost of the system. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are going to be picking up the Steam Deck, what you guys think about it, if it's something you're interested in. Also, if you did enjoy my content, please like and subscribe, as it does really help me out a lot, and I will see you in the next one.